Hello and welcome to another episode of Photography Out Loud. My name is Paul Davis, and as always, just about I might say, my colleague is Joel Lundblom. How are you doing? You okay, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Just about, yeah.
It's weird,
as long
I'm
as you don't
out on
move
location.
Too much. Yes, so yes, I've been here sort of in the shop today, so we've had lots of lovely people coming in to see us, which is always very, very nice. And Joel, yeah, you're not here. Whereabouts are you at the moment?
I'm in Llynbrennig, in Cerrig-y-Druidion.
Oh, look at that. How's about that for the
because we had a Swarovski day today. I know, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a Swarovski event here, so that was a great day. It was great to see several of our customers and new customers, which was great as well, and they really liked the Swarovski gear. So.
No, that's brilliant. So I have to say this lag is absolutely awesome today as well, Joel. So everyone watching, you'll have to bear with us. So thank you very much for tuning in live. I can see people coming in live now. So it's nice to see your comments coming through. Let us know that you're watching live. Give us a comment. Give us a hello. Let's have a look at the comments now. So we've got a hello from David Metcalf. Hello, David. How are you doing? You okay? And we've also got Howard as well. Hello, Paul and Joel from Cheshire. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. So yes, it's a bit tight then, wasn't it, Joel? Sorry for that. We started a little bit late. So are you on your phone?
I am. I'm hotspotting using all the mod technology.
What happened to your laptop?
The battery might have died.
Oh dear. I love how it might have died. You're not quite sure. Yeah, good afternoon from Andrew. Nice to see you, Andrew. Thank you very much. And David Yeoman as well. Hello, the wrong boys.
The wrong boys. You need to send us that picture so we can print it big on Thor.
Yes.
He had that shot, didn't he? The medium format shot. Sorry if you can hear any water or engines of the boats, or any fish, maybe.
It's the microphone.
This blown out of my highlights on this side is ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. Yes, today we wanted to give you a brief rundown on some of the most popular types of tripod heads that you can actually get. So today we're going to be going through a couple of them. We're going to give you a quick demonstration and talking through some of the features that you might want to use for the different types of heads that are available. So we're going to do a standard edition of this. So I know there's some specialist type of heads out there, because you've got things like gimbals. I bet Joel's been using a gimbal today with some of the Swarovski scopes that he's been using. But today we're going to be looking at three most popular types. So we're going to be looking at a ball and socket head, a freeway head, and a fluid head. So yeah, we've got just before we get let's have a look at some of more of these comments coming in. We've got John. I think this is to you, Joel. Sorry, my screen's very small today. Loving the beard, Joel. Suits you, mate.
Oh, great, thanks.
David has replied to the size of his picture that he scanned before. So if anyone's following David on Facebook, he posted a picture before, and it is a 96 megabyte file. So that's huge. That's ready to be printed on our new printer. And Andrew's saying highlights versus signal quality. Yeah, probably a bit going on there. So
Yeah, definitely.
And Tracy Edwards just joined us saying, on location, Joel. Yes, Joel is at Hinbrennig at the moment because he's had a wonderful time demonstrating
Tracy knows that. Tracy knows that because she came to see us. It was great to see her. And
brilliant.
So.
Oh, fantastic.
So,
that's brilliant. And once again, I'm wrong as far as David's concerned again.
Megapixels,
so that was
not megabytes.
That was megapixels, not megabytes. So, well, I mean, we're the wrong boys. We've got to be wrong.
I knew as soon as you said megabytes, he was going to tell you were wrong and say it was megapixel. 100%.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, thank you
Never
very much
misses
for
a
those
trick.
comments. Yeah, no, definitely not. It's almost like I set you up.
Ooh, imagine that.
That's brilliant. Right. Well, let's get to showing some of these heads off, I believe. So I'm just going to disappear for a second. Oh.
Where are you going, Paul?
I'm here. Don't worry. I'm gonna bring in some of these tripods so you can have a look at. I'm going to come into the front of the camera here as well. So we're going to start off with having a look at a ball and socket head. So this is one of the ball and sockets from Benro, and we're going to quickly talk you through the reason why you'd use a ball and socket and some of the features that it might actually have. So first thing, I should have done this before I came on the live, but there we go. We're going to fit the quick release onto the bottom of the camera. So
and that's an Arca Swiss plate, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah. So with a lot of the manufacturers on the market now, what you'll find is that they're using what is sort of known in the industry as a Arca Swiss. I had a penny before, here we go. So we're just going to tighten it up with a penny, there we go. So the nice thing about Arca Swiss is that they are, they're almost becoming the industry standards. So they're nice and easy to fit actually onto the tripod. So we're going to do this now. With Arca Swiss, depending on the head that you're using, but typically what you want to do with an Arca Swiss is that you want to sort of angle the camera in on one side and then sort of bring it down onto the other. And then you've got a tightening knob just on the side here, which is going to hold the plate actually in position as well.
Quick
and then
tip,
we can see that.
Make sure you're always holding your camera.
As you can see,
some Arca Swiss plates have stoppers, some don't, and sometimes they'll just slide all the way out.
So if I just lightly loosen where we use this tightening knob just on here, so if I just slightly loosen it, you can actually see, if I bring the camera to the side, we can actually see that we can move the camera forwards and back. So it is actually unlocked. But there is, with the Benro, there is a stopper to stop it actually moving off the actual head. And this just helps us to roughly find center of balance. This is going to make it a lot easier for us to move our ball and socket head around. Now, on this particular model, we've actually got 4 little turny things that we can use on here. So we've got the one that is for tightening.
Turny things, Paul.
Turny things.
Amazing.
You know me, Joel. As ever.
Technically speaking, the turny things.
Yeah, the turny things. So there's 4 things that we can use here to control what the head does. So we're using this to lock the camera onto the tripod. Then we've got our main ball locking system just on the side here. And then also with this particular model, we also has a friction control as well. So if I turn the friction control up, what we're able to do, if I just lock sort of the head off and control it on friction. So I've actually locked the camera off now and the friction's high. And what I'm able to do is still actually move the camera around. So I can move that around on there. That's me not putting the quick release plate on properly there.
That penny
Make sure you tighten that up properly. No, it wasn't, was it? So if we loosen the friction now, that is an extra twisty bit that you need to make sure that you're doing. This is the nice thing about a ball and socket head is that they're very fast and very easy to use. So what you'll typically find on a ball and socket head is that once it's released, you have all the movement that you can possibly do on it. So it's now unlocked, and what I'm able to do is move this into the position where I want to. I can even move it into a portrait position as well. And then once I've got the composition that I want to, so whether it's wildlife or landscapes that I'm doing in photography, once you're happy with it, you can lock that off and then you're good to go. So the one nice thing with using a ball and socket head is that it's very quick and very easy to do. You've also got a section on here as well, where once again, another turny thing, another turny knob, that you're able to lock the camera off, but you're also able to
if
do
we get a load of customers
panoramic
coming
as well.
in, Paul, talking about twisty things.
Yeah, well, I can't see the
dear.
comments at the moment.
Sorry, I just realised
I'm
the
away
lag
from my
was
computer.
bad.
Yeah. We'll see how we're going. So we'll lock this camera off there now. So the nice thing about a ball and socket head is that it's very, very quick, very easy. You can be on your camera, you can get it into the correct position that you want to, and away you go. The other nice thing is that relatively they're quite a small head as well. So it doesn't take up a lot of area in a bag or on the side of a bag if you were sort of going out and doing landscapes. So
quick thing,
what we'll do is
Paul.
Yep.
I'll just do some comments whilst you're away from your computer. Gordon Hunter says he absolutely hates ball and socket tripod heads. Always have done, always will. Fast to use. You're kidding, he's saying. So he's definitely not a fan. Gordon, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a pan and tilt head or a gimbal head? It'd be interesting to know. Howard is asking, can you convert a Manfrotto ball and socket head to Arca Swiss? You can. They make this add-on that you can attach to. I can't remember the code off the top of my head. But yes, they do that so that you can use that. Other side note to Arca Swiss, which I really, really like, is that you can get L brackets that you attach to your camera, and it has Arca Swiss grooves all around them so that you can have your camera landscape, or you can have it portrait on your head, so you're not having to move it. Also, it keeps your center of gravity down the tripod head rather than putting it at an angle if you were wanting to take something in portrait mode, which is fairly useful when you've got a heavy camera or a heavy lens or both. Also, Gareth Morn asked what the weather's like. It's really nice. It's not raining. It's raining a bit earlier. And it's quite sheltered here from the wind, so no, it's really nice. So
that's brilliant. Well, thank you for jumping into those comments, Joel.
Oh, Gordon says pan and tilt, far easier and quicker to use. If I'm honest, Gordon, I actually prefer a pan and tilt head. To be honest, I've got a 3-way Manfrotto head, and I much prefer that most of the time. So, yeah. And
I think once again, it just comes down to that personal preference, doesn't it, as well? So it's what you prefer using,
100%.
and
just like everything in photography.
Yep, certainly is. But pan and tilt head. We have a pan and tilt head in front of us here. So this is the Manfrotto. I believe it's an 804. Yes, they call this the 804 W3 head. For people that like to know numbers on things, this is using the Manfrotto mount that is on most of their tripod heads now. But once again, you can get these that. Once again, in the industry, this is known as an RC2 plate, but you can get an RC2 plate that is actually compatible with Arca Swiss now as well, which is very nice to know. Now, the nice thing I would probably say about the Manfrotto plates, if I just tilt this head forward a little bit, there's no sort of knob to tighten everything up on. So essentially what you'd do is you'd place your camera into the head and then you just push down, and that is then locked into position. So it's actually a lot quicker, I would say, to lock the camera into position. It's I mean they've had it for years and years now, and you can just slide it in and it's locked. It's a great system.
It has
to
a
have.
nice positive sound.
Yes.
It has a nice positive
Yeah.
sound to it, doesn't it? And it feels nice and secure. If I'm honest, if it wasn't for L brackets, I'd probably still use my RC2 plates all the time. It's only
Yeah.
because I like L
Well, I mean,
brackets now that I use Arca Swiss, to be honest. So.
Manfrotto they do their own version of an L plate which has the RC2s built in as well. So that's something that that you can potentially get into. So the one thing with a freeway head or a pan and tilt head is that it offers you a lot more control. So essentially, where with the ball and socket head before, where we were unlocking one knob to move everything, what we have with a pan and tilt system is that you're controlling the 3 different elements on 3 different sections. So essentially, if you wanted to move one direction, you would unlock one position, then move it. Then you can lock it back off.
Is that your favorite
You
band?
can unlock another section. What's that?
I said, is One Direction one of your favorite bands?
Oh, well done, Joel.
This lag is killing it.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah, considering that we've just managed to get onto one camera, so yes. So we're able to move all the different directions, not just one direction, Joel. Oh, dearie me.
Maybe our
so
boy band with beards can be the 3 directions.
Oh, dearie me. So if you compare this to the ball and socket, it does take technically longer to do if you're not used to this system. So if you're new to all photography heads in general, you might find a ball and socket is quicker because it's going to unlock everything for you. Where a freeway head or a pan and tilt head is going to give you more of that control, especially on a landscape. So if we imagine that I've lined this camera up now for the composition that I want, and all I'm wanting to do is very slightly move to the right hand side a little bit. I can just unlock there and then lock it back up, and then the other positions are absolutely staying as they were. If we were doing this on a ball and socket head, we'd be moving everything around.
It helps with getting your horizon straight because nobody likes a wobbly horizon.
No, definitely not. So you've got the freeway system just on there. If we have a look at this against the ball and socket, so if I bring this back in, you can see that it physically is a little bit bigger. So this is just comparing the 2 sizes together. So
you can get models where the handles are not as long, can't you?
Yeah. So these are actually able. You can actually collapse them in to do a fair
slide in and out.
Yeah, they do. Who would have thunk it?
Twisty, slidey.
Oh, dear me. I need to go back to school, I think. So that is a freeway head. So it's giving you a lot more control over your composition, especially for landscape photography. So if you're predominantly a landscape photographer, then you'll find using a freeway head or a pan and tilt a lot easier to use. Where if you were doing a lot of everything, once again, it's personal preference, but you might find using a ball and socket head a little bit more general use. You can use it a little bit more with wildlife photography and also landscape photography as well. So we're going to have a look at the third and final head that we've got here for today for you. So the first 2 that we've had a look at.
Comments, Paul.
Yeah, just while I get this in.
David Yeoman says Manfrotto heads ending in Q6 are Arca compatible. Andy Yates likes that you don't try to baffle people technically, Paul. Just say it how it is. Yeah, Gordon uses pan and tilt far easier and quicker. And Howard was saying that the L bracket is what he has in mind. Yeah, I can definitely suggest the bracket is great. And also Gordon says that Crete is very nice. The weather's very nice. It's 27 degrees. And the sun is going down and he's enjoying a lovely ice cold beer. So does that make you jealous, Paul?
That sounds lovely.
And Gordon also says portrait photographers also want level horizons too, winky face.
Oh yes, can't forget about the portrait photographers. Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is the third and final head, and this is really
Paul, importantly, how many
yes.
twisty things does it have?
This particular one.
How many twisty things does it have, Paul?
We have. I can see 4 twisty things, Joel, on this one.
Okay. It's good to know. It's important to know. And Andy Yates will be very happy that he knows that there's 4 twisty bits on this one.
Oh God.
Oh,
right.
Paul's gone.
So
have you got the
final head that we
plate
want
on
to show
properly?
you? Yeah, it's on. Yeah, it's already on. Yeah, there we go.
Nice and
so
secure.
the first 2 heads that we showed you are predominantly for photography. Yeah, general photography, where now we're going into a little bit more for the wildlife photographer and videography as well. So, and this is what we know as a fluid head. So its aim of this particular head is to be very nice and smooth. So if we're doing video, we're wanting this to be nice and smooth. We want the start of a pan to be very, very smooth. And if we're using this...
so it's not waterproof, Paul?
No.
Nothing to do with liquid?
No, nothing to...
Okay.
You know what? It took me a second then to pick up what you were putting down there, Joel. So I believe the fluid head is talking more about the motion that is potentially found around the water. So we're going to stick this on. Once again, this particular head is part of the RC2 system from Manfrotto. So we can, once again, just lock this into position and you get that nice, secure lockdown that we love to hear as well. So that's on there now.
Don't
so that's
talk
nice
about
and secure.
lockdown, Paul. Too soon, mate. Too soon to be talking about lockdown.
Oh dear. Too many things. Too many things that I need to remember now. So what we find with this particular head is that the motion is like liquid. So that's where the name sort of fluid head comes from. Just to get that across to Joel.
Brilliant. I'm so glad.
So if you're doing videography, we can do so if I bring this round to the front, just so you can see, and what I can do is I can start a very, very slow sort of pan with this. And what you'll also notice as well is that I'm able to stop and there's no jolting. So if I was starting and stopping a video, then something like this, I can start it very smooth and then speed up if I wanted to, and then slow down towards the end. So it enables us to get a lovely sort of smooth action. Like any head, we can lock this head off if we want to. So if we spin this head round, we have another turny thing just on the bottom thing here, which will lock the pan movements happening there as well. And also just here as well, what we can do is we can lock this into a certain position. But what you'll find with, especially with fluid heads as well, wherever you put them, they'll actually stay in position. So if I sort of rest this here like that, it will actually stay there. And once again, I can just make sure this section is unlocked. So the head is fully unlocked now, but the camera is still staying in position, and I can still do a very, very slow pan if I wanted to.
Oof. Very smooth, that.
Then
Great
bring it
action.
round.
You're a pro,
What can I
Paul.
say?
Pro.
I'm a smooth guy. So depending on the The lag today is brilliant. So depending on the type of
The
photography that you
humility
do,
was great.
I'll come and sit down now. So depending on the type of photography that you're doing, hello everyone, you're able to do lots of different types depending on which one. So just go over that again. So ball and socket head is actually my favorite type of head. I do find it very quick and easy to move into position. I find that I can do a lot of different things with it. So I'm not constantly changing the 3 different elements of a particular head. But once again, as we've found, it's always down to personal preference. And that's why there's lots of different tripod heads out there. What you're getting with the freeway head is that you're going to be getting that control over those 3 different positions that you're able to move the camera into. So you can have that control over your composition the best possible way that you can. And then if you're a wildlife photographer or a videographer, then looking at something like a fluid head is going to give you that nice smooth action for following sort of wildlife photography or doing videography shots. So yes, now you did pick up before, didn't you, Joel, saying that you prefer the freeway system?
Yeah, 100%. I think just for me, it was one of the first heads I had, a good quality head, because I got a used one when I was younger. And I don't know, just being able to control each axis separately from one another to get my shot composed just the way I wanted it to was really, really useful. I do find the size of the head a bit frustrating, especially the one I've got, because it's an older Manfrotto one. And the twisty things are quite long and they don't slidey either. So that's a bit frustrating. So my Benro tripod that I've got does have a bull head, which makes it easier, especially my FIF 28. The legs fold, so having the small ball and socket head is much easier for that. And then yeah, I guess the fluid heads are great for video. I've got a small one, but I don't use it very often. And then also that sort of style, or the Velbon style, the 157 PHQ, whatever code that is great for birding.
Yeah.
So that's a great head for stuff like that, where you just have one twisty thing to control all the axes. It's like the Lord of the Rings ring, one twisty thing to control them all.
Yeah. I almost think that
yeah, I think that's why
it's a shame I haven't got a Velbon here actually, because that almost falls into a relatively inexpensive specialist head, doesn't it? Because it's like a ball head and it sort of acts like a pan and tilt as well, which is quite nice. So no, that's brilliant. Yeah. So thank you for that, Joel, giving in your twisty, turny comments there.
I think we're going to have to update our website and every spec sheet for every tripod head and describe how many twisty things it's got and whether it's slidey or clippies.
Well, it makes more sense that way, doesn't it?
Apparently.
Well, it does if I'm looking for it. Oh, so I'll be going to English classes before next week's Photography Out Loud.
How now, brown cow?
Well, that's. I think that's everything that we wanted to go through this week. So it's a fairly short live this week because I'm missing you, Joel. It's not the same as you actually being here.
I know this lag is weird, but it was a great day with Swarovski. It was great to see people down at Brennig. So, and if you are not already, join our newsletter, Facebook, YouTube, etc. Paul will tell you at the end in the only way that Paul tells you how: likey, sharey, subscribey.
Twisty, turny.
And we're going to do more events at Brennig in the future with Swarovski. Got some great ideas that we were speaking to Neil, our Swarovski rep, about. Look out for those because next year is going to be an exciting year.
Well, thank you very much for that, Joel. And thank you for just about tuning in as well. So it was a little bit touch and go there. So yeah, because he wants to just see me on their own. So well, or put those in the comments. Who wants to see Paul on his own? Tumbleweed, please. Tumbleweed.
Oh.
Is there a tumbleweed emoji?
Yeah.
Someone stick a tumbleweed emoji in there.
Yeah, probably.
That's brilliant. Well,
We've got some comments.
Yeah,
Rob,
no, go for it.
Joseph, do you have any? Oh, do you have any large format lenses in stock? I'm not quite sure. Probably not. We might have one or two hiding upstairs. We're still going through a lot of boxes of old and weird and wonderful things, so we might have some up there. Andrew, how that sounds like a Kickstarter project just waiting to be worked on. A hybrid video head plate combo that allows you to go to portrait without some kind of Frankenrig.
Yeah,
it's a great word, Frankenrig.
Yeah,
I like that. And
that's a
hello
nice
to
word.
Mel. I'm glad we managed to brighten your day. The comedy duo again, Paul, strikes again.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's always lovely to see you. Make sure that you like and share this video as much as you possibly can.
Ooh,
the more you do.
Paul.
What?
Paul.
Go on.
Andy has said he's a newcomer to this, but you're generating an interest in photography. Well, I'm glad we are, because that's one of the things we really want to do is help people get into photography. And you say a basic introduction show for people with no knowledge but looking for a hobby might be beneficial for Cambrian. Your mentorship would be amazing. Well, I'm glad you think that, because that's something we're working on. We're working on photography out loud, and then something at the end of our episodes. So we'll have these normal episodes, and then if you want to carry on tuning in, then we're going to do an introduction to photography, and then over the months and years ahead, we'll go through all sorts of genres of photography and birding and videography, printing, everything. So look out, Andy. We are there hopefully soon. But yeah, we'll be definitely doing that, because we really want to help people at every level of photography that they are, to really get into it and be passionate about it, because we're so passionate about photography that we want other people to be as well. So yeah, we'll get it sorted, Andy. Don't you worry. And thanks for the nice comment.
Brilliant.
You're always making.
Yeah,
nice
thank
comments.
you for the.
Oh,
thank you for the lovely comment there, Andy.
Sarah's joined.
What have I missed? Everything.
Have I missed? Oh, so many things. Twisty, slidey things, Sarah. Don't ask.
Yeah,
you just have to watch the video.
That's the hashtag for this week.
And we'll be getting an invoice from an English teacher for Paul.
Oh, that's brilliant. If you've got any wonderful ideas like Andy has placed into the comments, please let us know. We're always constantly listening to everyone as well. So the more ideas that we can do, the more we can implement and the more we can put in for you. So we make these videos for everyone watching. So it's always nice to have your comments through, and that we can do something to help you with your photography. So I think that's everything now. So that's lovely. So I'll say it again. So thank you very much for joining. Always nice to see your comments. Please like and share this video, and make sure that you subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube pages. Everyone have a very good weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.